Il sera en action ce samedi soir du côté d'Atlanta contre l'ancien grand champion Kamaru Usman. On a le plaisir de s'entretenir avec l'excellent Joaquin Buckley qui sera en quête d'une 7e victoire consécutive. Joaquin, comment ça va?
Man, we doing good. We doing good.
It's a big fight for you, but what do you expect from him? Because, like I said, he's been out for 20 months, so great champion, getting older.
Right,
What are your
right,
expectations for the fight
right,
Saturday?
man. My thing is, man, I'm prepared for the best version of Usman. He done had a good little time off from stepping into the octagon, and I truly believe that once we step out into that stage and do what we do best, we can't help but see fireworks pop off.
Happy with this matchup? I know you called him out a few times.
Yeah, man. So I'm so blessed that the UFC is giving me what I want, with a couple call outs that I've been making for the past years. I never really get what I want, but now from 2024 and leading up into this year, I've been getting exactly what I asked for. So it's a blessing.
He's on a three-fight losing streak, but those were close decisions. It's been a long time still. He was
Right.
injured. Uh, what did you see in his last few fights, and do you think it will represent what you will be seeing on Saturday?
In my personal opinion, I can't look too much or too close to those losses. Even in the fight that he got knocked out in against Leon where he lost his belt. Remember, he was on a 15 fight winning streak, right? And he was still winning that fight against Leon, and he just happened to get caught. And then in the second fight, Leon got blessed by the judges, right, to keep that belt. And then when you see him move up in a weight at 185 to fight, a person like Hamzat Chimaev, he put up a good battle against dude coming off 10 days notice. So with all that being said, I can't really look at those losses and be like, oh, well, he still lost. He looked great in those losses. So my thing is this time that he has taken off for the damn near probably past 2 years almost, we can expect nothing but the best from him, because he said it himself that he wasn't going to sign a contract until he felt ready. So I'm expecting the best version of him.
I know you've been very vocal about it, and you touched on it on your podcast very recently. Uh, you're thinking that a win over Kamaru Usman will get you a title shot. So what makes you think that? Is it just a matter of winning against a former champion, or the way you're gonna win is still important?
Yeah, both, right? Both. Not only it being a former champion, but the way I win over the former champion. As well, I like to speak things into existence anyway, right? I like to forge an opportunity for myself and kind of make a path. So with that being said, me beating Kamal Usman and knocking him out June 14th, it allows people to understand and to see me as the next world champion that they want, right? Because I am excited. I am that person that's always going to give people the fights that they want to see. And why not allow myself to fight for a title? Because every time a person fights with me, they know it's going to be a banger.
Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but what if Makhachev gets the next title shot? Would you be, and you win this weekend, would you be ready to have another fight and fighting another contender like a Sean Brady or a Shavkat Rakhmonov?
Right. I mean, well, if I had no choice, I had no choice. I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do. But regardless, though, a lot of things happen in this game where things don't always play out as they should, and I'm definitely willing to, take that opportunity once it comes and presents itself.
And I know you talked about Islam Makhachev as well. You don't seem to think that he's maybe big enough for 170, or you don't think he's gonna stick a long time at 170? What makes you think that?
I know that. I know that. I mean, he done everything that he can do at 155. Even almost what he surpassed Habib in title defenses too, of course, right? And then once you're able to move up to 170, I don't really see more that he can do, but besides be in danger, right? Because if you try to hold that belt at 170, I don't think it's going to be a good idea for him. I don't think it's a good weight class for him. I don't think it's a good fit for him. I just think that he has the right matchup at the right time with JDM. That's it.
Um, let's talk about you because you've been on a tear at 170 since you made the move down 6-0 with 4 knockouts. When you made that move and when you made that decision, did you expect that things would be going that fast and would as well as it's going right now?
A lot of people don't understand the mentality that I have and the work ethic that I have, but everything that I've been doing has been already designed, right? Luckily, I have the promotion that's working right beside me, but everything has been calculated up until this point. And yet again, having no fear, right, to really kind of call my shots and make these call outs, right? Because once you do these things, right, you got a lot of fighters that are fearful of calling out a name, right after the fight. I don't do that, and it gives the promotion more of an opportunity and more fuel to kind of make these matchups happen when I call out these names. So there's going to be no difference once I beat Kamaru Usman, the next name that I shout out, in order to get that title.
Do you have one in mind, or you're keeping it for?
You know it. Yeah, we're gonna keep it though, but people know what it is.
Kayla Harrison this weekend was very impressive in her performance, but the weight cut was brutal, and it put it on the forefront of the discussion. And I know you've been at 185, and it's probably a big weight cut for you at 170. So seeing her suffer like that, do you relate, and how tough is it to go down at 170 for you?
I cannot relate because I think she even cuts more weight than me, right? Even me getting down to 170. But everybody's different. Everybody's preparation is different leading into a fight. But with me, I've actually gotten bigger as I've been cutting down to 170. So when I first fought at 185, I was only walking around at 190. Now I'm walking around 200 plus, right? So is a whole different type of cut now, making the 170, but it's all about the preparation that you make. So me having the right nutritionist, me, having the right plan, and drinking, 2 gallons a day, right, and leading up into the preparation of this fight, I think is really kind of what set me apart, because usually a lot of guys, the way that they work, they try to do as minimum as possible. But in my personal opinion, I like to work the weight off. So I like to work when I'm at my most depleted, right? So then once I'm able to rehydrate and be able to regain my energy by eating and drinking, then I'm able to show up and show out like crazy.
Okay, before I let you go, you've been also very active in the last few years. 4 fights a year is not uncommon for you. It's going to be your first fight in 6 months, a longer layoff than you're used to. Was it beneficial to take a little more time this time around?
It was definitely beneficial. It was definitely a help, because as let me say this, as active as I was, I wasn't able to get better, right? With these 6 months, I've been able to work on some tools and work on some techniques that I believe is going to be beneficial in this fight that a lot of people won't be able to see coming, and neither will Usman. So the person that you guys will see is a new version of myself.
Can't wait to see that. Looking for another signature performance this Saturday.
Thank you,
Joaquin Buckley, thank you very much, sir. Good luck.
All right, man. All right, player. All right.
Voilà pour les commentaires de Joaquin Buckley, qui se dit prêt à accueillir Kamaru Usman dans l'octogone ce samedi. Usman qui n'a pas combattu depuis 20 mois. Donc Buckley sait que l'ancien champion sera bien reposé, sera en santé et il est prêt pour la meilleure version de Kamaru Usman. C'est un gars qu'il avait mis au défi par le passé. Ça fait longtemps que Buckley souhaite affronter Usman. Et malgré ses 3 défaites consécutives, il le sait qu'il n'est vraiment pas à prendre à la légère. En fait, les résultats ne reflètent pas le talent et tout le potentiel de Kamaru Usman, qui a perdu quand même des décisions assez serrées à ses 2 dernières sorties contre Leon Edwards et Khamzat Chimaev à 10 jours d'avis dans une catégorie de poids supérieure. Avec une victoire contre Usman, Buckley est convaincu qu'il obtiendra un combat de championnat, une chance au titre. En fait, il fait de la projection. Il dit je dis haut et fort ce que je souhaite. Et dans les dernières années, ça a bien fonctionné. Tout ce que j'ai souhaité, on me l'a donné à l'UFC. Donc, j'espère que ce sera le cas pour ça aussi. Bon, ça ne fait pas nécessairement d'idée. Il sait qu'Islam Makhachev, ancien champion à 155 livres, fait le saut chez les 170 livres, devrait obtenir un combat de championnat contre Jack Della Maddalena. Mais, en fait, ce que Buckley pense, c'est que c'est un concours de circonstances. Ne pense pas qu'Islam Makhachev, avec tout le talent qu'il lui donne, peut faire long feu vraiment à 170 livres. Il estime qu'il n'a pas le gabarit nécessaire, la force physique nécessaire. Le fait que Della Maddalena soit le champion, c'est bon pour Islam Makhachev, parce que c'est juste un gros lutteur, peut-être est très talentueux, alors que c'est pas la force de Della Maddalena. Donc, ça donne confiance peut-être au champion. Il pourrait aller chercher la ceinture comme ça, mais il se dit, s'il va chercher la ceinture contre un combattant à sa portée, peut-être que ça va être la retraite pour Islam Makhachev parce qu'il ne se voit pas contre Buckley notamment, qui est un très très gros 170 livres. Il ne pense pas que Makhachev peut vraiment tenir le coup là, contre les plus costauds de la division. Si c'est Makhachev qui a le prochain combat de championnat, Buckley est prêt à aller chercher. Il ne va pas attendre là, en fait sur les lignes de touche. Si l'UFC lui demande d'aller chercher une autre victoire avant d'obtenir sa chance, il le fera, que ce soit contre un autre aspirant de premier plan comme Sean Brady et Shavkat Rakhmonov. On a parlé de son passage chez les mi-moyens. Il était chez les moyens avant 185 livres, mais en 2023, mai 2023, ça fait 2 ans, un petit peu plus de 2 ans, ça a vraiment tout changé pour lui. Descendre de catégorie de poids. Il est invaincu depuis, 6 victoires de suite, 4 par KO, vraiment là, et peut-être le combattant le plus hot, là, si vous me passez l'expression, de la division des 170 livres. Il dit, oui, la décision a été payante, mais c'est surtout mon éthique de travail, ma motivation, ça a toujours été au rendez-vous, mais mon éthique de travail, là, vraiment, qui me permet de faire des coupes de poids assez drastiques. Elles ne sont pas si compliquées que ça, là, qu'il nous disait, ces coupes de poids, parce que justement, il ne prend pas de congé, là, il ne triche pas. Toujours à faire les choses comme il se doit pour s'assurer d'être toujours au sommet de sa forme. Parce qu'il dit, je suis plus lourd aujourd'hui que je ne l'étais quand je combattais à 185 livres. Avant, je coupais à peu près 5 livres, je marchais à 190 livres. Maintenant, j'étais à plus de 200 livres et je réussis à descendre à 170 livres. Donc, c'est assez particulier. Ce sera son premier combat en 6 mois. Normalement, c'est un gars qui est très actif, 3-4 combats par année. Ça va être son premier en 2025. Dernière victoire en décembre contre Colby Covington. Il dit, regardez, j'aime ça être actif, mais ça m'a vraiment permis de travailler sur plein d'aspects différents, plein de choses que je souhaite montrer contre Kamaru Usman. Il est convaincu qu'il va lui passer le KO et que ce sera une victoire signature pour lui ce samedi. Ne manquez pas ça. L'UFC Fight Night Usman contre Buckley en intégralité sur TVA Sports 2 ce samedi dès 20h.